Alright, and welcome to the current episode of the Box Podcast. Here we have Isaac and me, making your afternoon spicy, making it enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, I hope you have a good time, and, yeah, let's get started.
It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, actually. So,
we've had some minor recording issues, some internet problems here and there.
Yeah.
As usual, there will be a lot of clicking in the background, and especially today because I'm working on something. You know how you listen to a podcast and you work on stuff while you listen to the podcast? Well, I'm working on something while I make the podcast, so that might be exciting.
Yeah. What are you working on? If you don't mind me asking.
Secret.
Alright.
It's a secret. I can't tell you.
It's a secret. Okay.
You can't see it, but it's a treat. Get excited for it.
So, do you wanna do the story timer thing again? Because I set the timer again.
Get the timer up and going.
Alright. So, yeah.
What are we going to talk about
there is
today?
This interesting thing that's come up a while back, actually. Yes.
Really?
Have you heard about those little electronic chips that the Chinese factories have been putting in people's iPhones?
Sorry, say again.
Have you heard about those electronic chips that Chinese factories have been putting in people's iPhones?
No. What's it all about?
Well, there are these factories in China where they're producing Apple products.
Yeah.
And in people's phones they've been putting like these little sort of chips where they can basically spy on people.
Jeez.
Like they can look through your little iPhone camera.
And that
yeah, it's
that's
pretty
why
scary.
you buy Samsung. This podcast is not sponsored by Samsung.
But please sponsor us, Samsung. We could use the money.
Money, Samsung. I love you, Samsung. Sometimes, when it gets a little boring, it's just fun to jumble up words.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, they've been putting these little chips in there so they can like basically spy on anyone who sort of buys a iPhone that came from that sort of factory, and it's not a part of the original design that was in the original, it's not a part of the original design, they just put it in there as they're sort of putting it together.
Could this suggest...
And it's like basically...
Could this suggest like a bigger conspiracy that maybe not Apple was behind it, but third-party companies could be somehow getting involved?
Yeah, well, we don't really know why they want to do it. Like, I guess maybe it would be kind of petty if they just wanted to advertise stuff to you and see what you're interested in. But, I don't know.
This is kind of going into conspiracy territory right now, but I've actually heard that Google spies through your microphone to cater towards better searches and better ads. And this has actually been proven by a person in the YouTube community who had actually conducted a test on that, saying, for example, I wanted a sandwich, and he'd say that word a couple of times, and eventually he'd start seeing Subway ads popping up.
Oh, that's
kind of
crazy.
We're at a point now where like companies can just basically put as many agreements, just basically use these licensing agreements as shields to farm a lot of advertising data from users like us.
Huh.
And they're making millions doing that. I think it's starting to get more and more aggressive with what you were saying there about iPhone chips and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah. It is actually kind of scary how like they have access to that kind of technology. I mean, like, it's actually the same thing that like the US military puts in their drones and stuff, and they can access it and put it in the iPhone.
But like the thing that's the most scary though is like, you know, it's like these advertisers, they just like they what if, say, somebody was working at an advertising company and could just go into your computer and just start spying on your personal life? It's basically like letting people into your life to look at you and silently judge you. While they may be like halfway across the world, like they could talk to you if they wanted to.
Yeah. Why does it have to be like this? Like, why can't we...
I wonder
why...
if the... Actually, no, you continue.
Alright, like, why can't we just go back to when we were, like, hunting for woolly mammoths into extinction and cooking them on a campfire? Like, why can't we just do that again? You know, why does everything have to have so much technology?
Because we are inherently born with a need to, I reckon, just kind of expand as big as possible. It's kind of interesting how we've actually managed to become the most successful species on the planet. Cool message during podcasts.
Yeah. And like, I mean, let's say like you don't believe in God or anything. I know you probably don't. But
Okay.
But like, wait, do you?
No, I don't.
Alright, so
I'm agnostic, so...
So, going off of that, what do you
open.
think it is about humans as opposed to, like, dogs or cats that can actually sort of go further and create technology and, like, create, like, all this stuff and build, like, houses and everything? Like, what do you think it is?
Do you think there are... So your question is, you think there are aliens that have a society and like are smart enough to also build houses and make spaceships and all that?
No. What I'm saying is like every other animal is just like if you put them in the wild, they're just gonna be like hunting for food and sleeping and eating and doing all that basic stuff over and over. But like, how come? Like, what is it about humans that are able to be smarter than that? Like, just you know,
I reckon for us, it's like when the polar bear... It's like, when the polar bear turns white. So, every bear used to have the same... It's theorized that every bear had the same color, right?
Yeah.
And polar bears eventually mutated. This is going off of Darwinism.
yeah.
Obviously.
Survival of the fittest.
But, like, polar bears turned white as a result of evolution. White polar bears got killed less and they were less detected because their fur blended in with the snow. So, with humans, we became smarter because that eventually gave us long-term success. We were able to start building tools and we could adapt to every other evolution that every other animal had. We could act on any situation, like kind of like a multi-blade knife for any situation. And then add in the fact. Now, if that's not enough on its own, we being mammals, being gorillas, evolving from apes, had allowed us to socialize and band together to form a stronger group. So that's more minds working together towards hunting today's prey or building houses or making technology. And we've kind of retained that structure in different forms. How do I say it? Like, so we have tribes and then we've evolved to villages. And villages would compete with each other. And then we always have a teaming system about us. We always tend to group together.
We always squad up.
Exactly, yes.
It
Fork
is
knife reference.
It is really interesting if you sort of take into account that like every single life form just evolved from bacteria in the bottom of the ocean. You know, it is like, it's really cool. You know?
We know more about the universe than we do about the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like, bad funding or whatever.
Maybe it's just that space is cooler than a bunch of water dug into the earth. I reckon.
I reckon this is on a different topic.
Alright.
But I reckon it's no surprise that there's going to be a group of old men at the top of the world. Like the Illuminati and all that.
Oh yeah.
I think everyone overstates it. I reckon the people at the top who own everything, I reckon they're just kind of a bunch of old men. And, I reckon some of them would be sociopaths. Of course they would, because they're at the top of the world. And that'd be it. I don't think there'd be mass mind control, because they've already got mass mind control. They've... here's a good example of mass mind control. It's not necessarily controlling people's brains, but it's everyone following a specific thing. It's like countries having accents. Like in Britland.
Conformity.
In Britland. I'm calling it Britland now.
Britland.
Everyone has a British accent because their fathers or everyone around them had spoke British to them.
Yeah. It's basically just natural conformity, if you think about it in the basic sense. It's
this
just
is opening up many doors to conspiracy theories. I reckon this is going to be the topic of today's podcast, conspiracy theories.
Is the Earth really flat?
Yes, the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
You want to know why? Because Heaven's Gate said so.
Yeah, basically.
And I'd like to bring in today's sponsor for today, Heaven's Gate. Open up your gate. We're not actually sponsored by Heaven's Gate. That'd be pretty cool if we were, though.
Hey, dude, what if,
Heaven's Gate. Maybe we should... Yeah.
What if in the future, when we get, thousands of followers, if that ever actually happens...
Oh, yeah, sure.
What if one of the people that listens to us just emails Heaven's Gate, and then they're just like, hey, these guys that actually emailed you, this is their podcast. And then that person actually listens to us.
I put the name of the podcast in my email, so it's possible that he could have... Sorry, bud.
I didn't know. He probably doesn't care, though.
The more you know.
The more you know, yes.
Do. So maybe, somewhere down the line, if he's feeling a little bored, maybe he'll email us.
Yeah.
He'll email us. It'll be good times. We can go out and get a space beer.
Yeah.
Over at Teller.
That sort of thing about evolution that we were talking about sort of brought up this memory in my mind of something from a while back. So...
Do tell.
A while back, I was watching this interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and...
He's like a pseudo-intellectual.
He is, yeah. He's like Elon Musk level intelligence. But, yeah, someone asked him, do you think that there's intelligent life outside of Earth or whatever? And then he says that he thinks that there is, but they probably would choose to not visit us. Because if you think about that, we're only 2% genetically different to chimpanzees, and the most intelligent thing that chimpanzees can do are just see little hand signs and like copy them or something, and that's like stuff that like toddlers can do, and we put better stuff than that, like as being like
we can make bridges,
thing.
We can build spaceships.
Yeah, we've like literally created we've created a particle accelerator, you know. And like
we can make miniature black holes anytime we want,
and that's only 2% Like, that's only a 2% genetic difference from chimpanzees that humans are. So if you then
I reckon
imagine...
that genetic difference is less hair, taller, smarter. Boom. That's 2% right there.
Yeah, but
And,
just hear me out a bit. So...
Okay.
So, and then he said, if that's only a 2% genetic difference, then imagine a species that's 2% sort of different to us again. Imagine what they can do, like stuff that Stephen Hawking did, like astrophysics. Like, that's stuff that their toddlers could do. And then they, like, stick it on the fridge with, like, a fridge magnet, and they're just like, oh, my kid can finally do this or whatever. Imagine what they can do. They're gonna think that we're, like, some kind of animal to them. And that's why, like, we're not...
I reckon they're playing it very cautionary, like, they really don't want to meet us because we are aggressive, and we would... You know, it's like, because we've done it before. It's like, when we saw black people for the first time, we locked them up, we chained them, we sold them as slaves for years and years. We just shat on them, basically. Because we didn't recognize them. And if, I know you and me wouldn't, try to lock up aliens. Just think about, 7 billion. 7.5 billion people try not to react violently to aliens.
Yeah. It's just...
So, yeah.
I think it's just because, like, we're so scared, like, their language is going to be completely different to us. They're probably going to have a completely different morality. Like,
it's possible that, like, some aliens could just not be as different as us. They could probably be just as smart as we are, but we've just built up all this technology, or maybe even... built up all this technology over years.
Yeah.
Because, intelligence in the end really boils down to how long it takes for you to solve something. It's possible that just that breed of alien is just, like, longer. It just has a longer species. Longer time in the universe.
Yeah.
Or it could even be dumber. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, but, like, maybe if it is, like... It could be way more than, like, 2% genetically different to us. Like, what if they're, like, 10%? That's, like, to us, astronomically smarter.
That's, like...
But, yeah, that is, like...
That is, like, beyond, like... Scoob. What's the time on the timer?
The time on the timer? Oh, we've got, 2.5 minutes left. Basically.
Key noises.
And then we'll have to tell the stories.
Burp noises.
Yes.
I reckon, there's only so much genes you can put in an alien before, like, there's a biological limit.
What do you mean?
You can only be young Sheldon enough. I mean, like... Okay, so, you know how it's proven that, like, you can't just keep getting bigger and bigger and have bigger brains. There's got to be a point where, like, how do I explain it? Like, okay, so we have organs, we are set up to basically perform well at our current height. And if you get bigger, your heart grows bigger. And it happens for giraffes as well. So you grow bigger and all that. And your brain takes up 20% of the oxygen in your blood for every pump because it's very greedy. So if we imagine that on aliens, that with a bigger brain, they'd have to have bigger hearts.
Yeah.
Which would mean they'd have to pump more blood around their brain. And they'd have to get tall and they'd have to get bigger. And it'd be at a point where, like, it would collapse in on itself because it would.
Imagine how they did evolve, though. Like, I don't know. We're basically getting to science fiction territory here. Like, we're talking about stuff that might not even be possible. There's literally 30 seconds left on the timer. Should I just stop it here?
Sure, it's 30 seconds.
Alright, so story time.
I reckon you should do story time.
Okay. Let me think of something.
So what's your story? What's your story? Tell me your life story.
Well, I know we talk
Am I
about
putting you-
dreams a lot.
Yeah,
But I
that
have
should
a
be a
dream.
thing. We should always be doing story time. No, we should always be doing story time. We should always be doing... My most interesting stories come from dreams, and it's like only once or twice that I get to meet an insane individual. Oh wait, no, I got a good one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So me and my brother and my cousin were at the stores, and we were going here like really late at night, and we just like got out of the store. So we basically, there's like a wall next to where we go.
Yeah.
So when we're walking back home, there's like this hill basically, and you can climb up, and there's like a wall on top of there, and there's some trees obscuring it. And basically, we'd always walk back there, and there was just like one time. This is at night, by the way. Like some dude just skidded down. And was like, "Hello, boys," and he just like sort of jogged off. And we knew what he was doing. He was like, he was trying to graffiti the wall. He thought we were gonna get suspicious of him. it's just the way he was just. He's just so like. He's so bad at like hiding what he was saying. He's just like obviously trying to not seem suspicious, but he just fails at it so hard.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Pretty funny.
Yeah. It's so funny when, like, people are obviously doing something wrong, but, like, they're trying to hide it, and you just know, and, like, it's really obvious.
When I'm doing something and I try to hide it, I usually try to make it into a joke. Because I know what I'm doing wrong, and it's just a good opportunity to make it into a joke anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you sounded like Sans, because the audio sort of distorted. Like, you're just like
Yeah,
that.
Sans. Did you... Oh, speaking of Sans, did you hear that, Toby Fox, who's creator of Undertale, made a new game called Deltarune? Apparently it's pretty good.
Let me search that up right now. Wait, what's it called?
Yeah, Deltarune. And it's pretty damn good, and it's free. It's pretty good, and it's free. It's pretty good, it's free. It's pretty good, it's free. It's pretty good, it's free.
Oh. Here we go. Oh,
I don't know what it's about, but it seems interesting.
Basically, the logo looks exactly the same as the Undertale logo. Is it like a spin-off or something?
What?
Deltarune isn't an Undertale sequel, and it's in early development. Okay, that's something on the news. Let's see what this is. Anyway, let's not get into that. We're supposed to be telling stories.
That's cancerous fan bases.
Yeah, cancerous fan bases.
Let's talk about that. Do 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 do. They can do better podcasts than us.
I used to watch Good Mythical Morning all the time back in the day.
I used to. I always fell for the clickbait titles, and they never get to the point. They sort of drag on about it.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. It's like I couldn't give less of a care, so I stopped watching them because I thought I was wasting my time.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how channels just blow up like that, promoted by the algorithm. Kind of unfair as well.
Oh wait, no, those guys have been, like, going on for, like, since, I think, pretty OG YouTube, like, 2007 or something. Like, they've been around for a long time. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they're, like, their Rhett and Link channel, not Good Mythical Morning.
Okay.
Deltarune isn't an Undertale sequel, and it won't be finished anytime soon. Oh, so there's like
Get excited for it, though.
Yeah.
Get egg-sided.
Egg-sided. Actually, can I tell a story? It's a dream story.
Sure. A dream story.
So
tell us your dream story.
A few days ago, I had this weird dream where, like, I had a huge head. Basically. Like, my head was just abnormally huge. And, like, I didn't have a neck. So it was basically just, like, my body and then, like, a huge head. Basically.
You were like a bean?
Yeah, I was... It was very, very strange. But... yeah. Basically, there was, like, a background. Like, a dark purple background. Like, this is how it started off. There's a dark purple background. And then in someone's handwriting it said, when Isaac finds out he has a huge head. And then I was in this sort of office building with no one in it. And I was like running up and down the hallway. And I was just like, I'm really slow. Like, something's weighing me down. Why is it taking me so long to run? And I was really confused.
Isaac's huge head.
Yeah, and then...
Kind of weird in dreams. Oh, sorry.
No.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird in dreams how, like, you get a note or some writing, and it's like they give you the first clause of a sentence, and they won't finish it, or they'll give you a question. You know what's interesting though? But, like, I'm actually thinking of that sentence, and I see that text in the dream.
Yeah. Well,
Did that happen to you?
Yeah. This is a real thing. But yeah, like, as I was running up and down, one of the doors was slightly open. It was, like, slightly ajar. So I pushed it open a little bit, and there was this mirror in there. And then I saw my huge head, and I'm just like, wow, I look really ugly.
Holy shit.
I was just like, wow, I'm so ugly. And then I just woke up.
Were you able to solve math equations very quickly?
Well, I didn't really put it to good use. I just tried to run it down up a hallway, and then I was just like, why am I so slow?
You could have figured it out, though, if you had a big head. Here's an interesting idea. What if, in the dream you had super intelligence, like you could lucid dream, and you could lucid dream in super intelligence, and you tried to remember a big math equation. Would that like... that'd be interesting, though.
Yeah.
So say you had a math test tomorrow, and you had a revision sheet, and you decide to memorize the entire revision sheet, and then you go into your dream, and you'd say, give me super intelligence. You get super intelligence, and then you remember everything on the revision sheet, and you try to solve it with your now super intelligence. Would that work? I don't think it would. I think it'd make you slightly smarter, actually.
No, you would be super intelligent in your dream, not in real life.
Yeah, but like... Yeah. But, like, you'd have the answers to the revision sheet if you're super intelligent. Has anyone tried that out? Somebody should try that out. Give it a whirl. You never know, it could work. It won't, but it might.
Yeah. Who knows?
Stories. Thinking of a story. Any new stories happening today? Let me think.
Do I have any of them written down? Let me have a quick, speedy look through my dreams. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Damn. You would do some weird ideas?
Sure. But don't use an idea generator, please.
Yeah, do you still have the idea list from many podcasts ago?
Yeah, I'd still write some stuff on it if I remember. I should probably go back to that, actually. Oh yeah, have you seen... Did you see Suicide Squad?
No, I heard it was pretty trash.
Yeah, it actually is pretty trash. To be honest. But, there is this one quote, like in the movie, with
Yeah.
like Deadshot basically says, "What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?" And then like
Everyone laughed.
Yeah, everyone's
because
just
it was
like-
so funny.
oh wow, you're quoting the title of the movie, so funny or whatever. Because they're obviously trying to like not make
Give a
them
nod to the hilariousness.
give a nod to that. But I was just thinking, like, that quote would have been way more loved if like that movie was made in like the 90s or something. Like it would be way more sort of iconic, you know.
Why that?
I don't know. I think like if it was like one of those like
You mean you could get away with the stupid jokes because it's the 90s and everything's cheesy?
yeah, basically. And then people would just love it more. But the fact that it takes place nowadays is just like, oh wow, that's just they're trying to be good, but they're not.
They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not cool and groovy.
Yeah, basically.
It's very interesting.
Hmm.
But you know what else is interesting? Not our sponsor for today.
What was it again? Samsung?
Samsung.
Samsung.
Not Samsung. We don't get
Samsung.
sponsored by Samsung. Samsung, more like Damon, because that's what you'll be saying, because you'll get scammed out of your money.
Yeah.
Stupid Samsung.
Samsung. That sounds like a Chinese guy's name. Samsung.
Samsung. Yes, it's almost anything. It could be almost anything, but it's not quite.
Yeah. Hey, you know... Oh. Well,
No, you say you say.
alright. You know that one Aesop's Fable where there was that guy and his son are like trying to carry that donkey, and like everyone keeps telling them to do like something different or something?
No.
Alright, well like
But continue.
basically there's this Aesop's Fable where like there's this guy and his son, and then they're trying to like
Yeah.
bring this donkey into like a market to try and sell it, and like I think they're both just holding it, and then these people are just like, oh, why are you just holding it? You could be riding it. And then like they both get on. I mean, like I think his son gets on, and then one of them is just like, oh, why does your dad have to walk? He should get on. And then his son's walking and his dad's on the thing, and then they're just like, oh, why should your son have to walk or something? And then like they're both sitting on it, and then these people are just like, oh, why are you both riding it? You should carry it or something. And they basically like tie its legs around a pole and like carry it, and then they sort of trip and fall, and the donkey falls into the river and drowns, basically.
Oh, cool.
And
Cool story.
and the moral of the story is basically don't listen to people, or like don't like you
Don't
can't
trust anyone.
you can't please everyone. Basically, is the moral of that, and you should do what you want to do. So basically, we got told that story back when I was in year 2,
Yeah.
and the teacher at the time thought that it was too sort of graphic to sort of tell the kids that the donkey sort of died and like drowned in the river. So she just said, oh yeah, they looked really fucking retarded carrying a donkey or something. Because she thought it was like too sort of disturbing for 8-year-old kids to hear.
Oh yeah, donkey's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile the Lion King has fucking Simba dying. Simba's dad, the Lion King, dies. Sorry if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it. Everyone's seen it, but sorry if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, you gotta expose your kids to stuff early, you know. That's how they that's how they learn.
Don't coddle your kids, alright? Take your kid to the park, put that person on the swing, alright? You throw it, and you don't expect him to catch him if he falls off. That's how you make him learn.
No, I'm saying like you gotta expose your kids to graphic content while they're young. Because
Yep, that too.
I would be a great parent, wouldn't I?
We'd make good parents together, Isaac.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Ultimate clipping of episode.
I know
4.
that was intentional.
Yeah, I know. Knowing you, I know that was intentional. You know, you're a very sarcastic kind of guy.
Yes.
Tell me one of your
Alright,
ideas,
so
because I don't have anything that's worth talking about.
let's see news as of late.
Alright.
I just discovered a subreddit called r/I'm a total piece of shit, and as the name suggests, the people on there are being total pieces of shit. So there was one particular post that was, you know, particularly just like really annoyed me, and that was so there was this poor autistic kid, right?
Yeah.
And he was just getting harassed, and some kid actually pulled out a gun. This is on the street.
Oh.
And they threatened to like kiss his toes and stuff. Like, what kind of... That's like... Why would you ever do that? And then the kid started saying, "Oh, you think you're so cool or something?" And it's like, no, it's because you're carrying a gun, threatening to kill someone with it. This is very interesting. Then they got arrested because they're retards, because they obviously posted it on social media.
Oh, yeah. Obviously those people, of all people, are gonna post it.
What kind of parents do you have to for that to actually happen, though? Like, why?
Kind of parents that would kill a donkey in a river.
Yeah, parents that
I'm
would
really
kill
funny.
a donkey in a river. Exactly, parents that would kill a donkey in a river. Gaming noises. Poor guy, he's probably being scarred for life.
There's this, I'm just going through the news app, and then there's this article that says, cockroaches deliver karate kicks to avoid being turned into, and then in quotation marks, zombies.
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about, you know, like, non-newsworthy content.
Alright.
I'm not talking about actually talking about it. I'm talking about news stations talking about stupid stuff on the news.
Yeah.
Like a puppy's birthday. Like, who cares about a puppy's birthday? If you're gonna address one puppy's birthday, then I suggest you need to address all the puppies' birthdays.
Yeah, well, it's just trying to be,
I don't like it.
like, happy when half the news articles are about, like, terrorist attacks, you know?
But, like, that's why you read the news, to get up to date on the drama. Don't you see?
Yeah,
That's good. Good thing you see.
Alright.
Did I ask you this already? How's your day been?
I honestly don't know.
I had a pretty good day.
Yeah, today was
Been doing nothing for the whole day.
Well,
It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna change my Discord profile picture to see if it actually, like, on my phone, to see if it updates on my laptop really quickly. Did
It's
that work?
changed.
Nice. Perfect.
Skeleton.
Yes. I just found this, like, picture of a bad 3D rendered skeleton on the news app, and I screenshotted it and changed it. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
So,
Now's the part where we get really boring because we don't have anything to talk about. We need
yeah, exactly.
to keep up our energy levels. Okay. let's have a
Last
look.
podcast was terrible. I could barely. I was like so asleep because like I had like a really bad sleep schedule. I was like staying up till like 3 in the morning. I had school tomorrow, so that was always good.
Yeah.
Took a nice toll on my my sleep schedule.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can do something like that.
just imagine, like, I had to, one time I was, it was like the end of the holidays, and I hadn't fixed my sleep schedule, so I ended up just staying up all night. Just, even when school came, and I pretended to be asleep when my parents came in and said, it's time to go to school.
Oh, yeah. do you know what I did?
Yeah.
Like, I basically...
Yes, I do.
Well,
I know what you did.
I got a pillow, and then, like, put it, like, underneath the blankets to make it look like that was me lying there, and then I went and, like, hid somewhere.
Interesting. Did they fall for it?
No, they did not. Yes,
how old
they fell for it.
Were you when you did this?
Oh, like 6 or 7.
It's genius. I'll never find out.
Yeah. Like, I think it was my dad that told me that my uncle did it, and I was just like, oh, that's a good idea. I might try it.
Don't get any ideas, young viewers, of which there are many.
How many viewers do we have? Oh, we have 6 followers.
We have 6. 6 currently.
Yeah. Basically.
We're blowing up, man. We're really blowing up.
We're getting through the roof now.
We're through the roof. We're topping the charts. Can you believe it? I can't. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. It's a little bit too quiet.
Oh my god. That's one way to keep the energy going. Alex.
Just scream
Oh my
into the
god.
microphone. To any of my viewers wearing headphones, I am very sorry.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
To any of you viewers not wearing headphones and having that be blasted over whatever speaker you have currently, I'm sorry to anyone around you.
What if there's someone just, like, listening to this through, like, a Bluetooth speaker in, like, a family reunion or something?
Who would have... You know, here's something interesting. I was, like, looking up my name online, and I found out that my add-on was added to some Russian person's collection. Do you think, like, somewhere in some country, some Russian dude is, like, can't find anything to put on this, like... Say there was, like, a concert, and there was, like, a loudspeaker. Okay, why in Russia? Because we're in English. Okay, somewhere English, alright? What if, like, if they didn't have anything to, like, put on, they just put on our podcast instead? And it's, like, it's not like we would have known, because it would just be, like, one viewer putting it on for, like, an entire crowd to hear.
That's...
Do you reckon that's ever happened before?
amazing. Dude, I can't hear you at all. Like, there's no sound.
Do you reckon
coming
that's
out
ever
of your
happened
end at
before?
all.
I think your microphone broke.
I don't know what happened just then. I couldn't hear. Like, you just cut
Yeah,
out.
we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Yeah, my internet, I think it cut out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I had full bars, so... Yeah.
Did your yeah, it was definitely my internet cut. Anyways, as you were saying, what were you saying?
You're saying, like, the last thing that I heard was that, like, somewhere in the world, they're, like, playing our podcast because they have nothing else to listen to.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if it's being played to a crowd or it's just being played to one person.
Yeah. You know.
That's a kind of positive thought.
If you're a
Well,
random...
now that we've meshed...
Sorry. If
Actually, now that we've mentioned it, if anyone cares, come check us out. Then we'd actually know if it's being played to a crowd. Box Podcast.
SoundCloud.com/theboxpodcast.
//
yes.
Yes.
Very important that the top part of the slash is to the right.
And there's a bunch of other fakers taking our name, but we're the actual Box Podcast. It's the one with the good graphic design and superior artwork.
Pink background with headphones around a box. Doesn't matter
superior
if they
graphic
started
design.
before us. They're still copying us.
They are copies. They're just reckless copiers. We can't afford to have those kinds of people in our world.
You're either a fan or a hater. There is no middle ground.
You're either on my team or not on my team.
You want to be on his team.
I'd be on the Box team if I were you.
Yeah. You better join us.
Or we'll make you join us. Or we'll not really do anything, because it's a good chance that you might even be across the world from us.
Now that's when you gotta fly out there and tell them to join. And then they'll feel bad
That's
if
when
they
we
don't.
get big.
Yeah.
We force viewers onto us. Force people to like us.
It's like, dang it, I forgot the word. What's that word? You know
What's
when
that word?
they like force recruit people into the army? What is the word?
Oh, they starts with a C.
Let me see. Into the military.
They consign.
Conscript, I think.
Conscript.
Is it?
Yeah, conscript. Yeah, we can conscript them into the cod bast.
What is your opinion on conscription, Alex?
I think it's a bad idea, and I think it's good that we're not in war times.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate to get conscripted into the army, because I don't want to fight for my country. I'm not proud of my country. You want to know why? Because the logo of our country is thongs. That's what we're popular for. And Vegemite. And Bogans.
Yeah.
Does that sound like
Basically.
something you want to fight for? Not really.
Yeah. Well, like, if you conscript people, they don't want to fight for their country. They're just there because you want them to be there, and they're not really going to be.
You better be there.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. Are they gonna try? They'd have to.
Yeah.
If they want to have a chance of getting out of the country. Country. Damn it. Yes. So. Go finish the podcast up here.
Yeah, sure. So, we've
We
hit
are at
50 minutes by now. So,
50 minutes. Alright.
yeah.
So, I will do the outro.
Alright, you can go ahead.
Thank you all for listening to the Box Podcast. If you like what you heard, please follow us and like us and repost and share and play it to as many Russian crowds as you possibly can. This has been the Box Podcast. What, episode 4, episode 5?
Episode 4.
What episode was?
Yeah, it's episode
4. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a good afternoon /evening /night /day.